Are you interested in starting a salon business or a small scale business? Or are you already doing a small scale business? I want to use this medium, to give you one or two tips that will help you, in managing your business or in setting up a small scale business. I really want to encourage people, to set up a small scale business. I've worked in a financial institution for over 12 years, and I've been doing business for over 12 years. I can tell you there's nothing like, running a small scale business. There are so many benefits, uncountable benefits. The three major ones I can tell you is that it gives you freedom. You have consistent cash flow and you are able to make memorable experiences. Now, if you want to start up a business, I always tell people, have a purpose. That's the first one. Have a purpose. Your purpose should revolve around providing a solution, to a problem, or meeting a need, or providing answers to people's questions. You can build your purpose around that. Or better still, find out what is God's purpose for your life. Why are you here? Why were you created? What does God want you to do here on earth? What does God want you to accomplish here on earth? There are some people that are not sensitive to spiritual things, so it might be difficult for you to find that out. But the easiest way is for you to just find out a need that you can meet, find out a problem that you can solve, find out questions that you can provide answers to. If you build your purpose around that, you will go far in whatever business you are doing. Don't just set up a business just because you want to make money. Don't set up a business because a lot of people are doing it. People are jumping into it. Because if you start a business just because of money or because other people are succeeding in it, you can get stuck. The Bible said that anybody that wants to build a house, first of all, you have to weigh the cost, calculate the cost, check what you have to see whether you'll be able to finish it, so that you don't go and start it and get stuck and people will be laughing at you. So that's number one. Then number two, for a business, small scale business to really be successful, there are three major factors. There is the God factor, there is the owners factor, and there is the people factor. God factor, has to do with the purpose, Then owners factor is you, that is you align with purpose for your life, and you also developing yourself, upgrading yourself, and getting yourself acquainted, with current happenings, with trendy things, to see how you can use it, to impact whatever business or thing you are doing, But what I found out, since I've been doing business, for somebody who is really serious, is usually not the purpose, the motive of doing business, or the owner's factor. Where the problem is, especially in Nigeria, is the people factor. So I'm going to be dwelling more on the people factor, because most of the businesses that are succeeding today, a lot has to do, with the people. And the same thing, businesses that are failing today, a lot has to do with the people. People, they contribute largely to the success, of small scale business. And people too can also make the business to fail. And that's the more reason why I'm going to concentrate more on the people factor. Most of my messages, I always talk about the God factor, and then the owner's factor. I think I've talked so much about that, but today I want to start talking on the people factor. And let me start with the negative before we come to the positive. Now, there are major reasons why businesses are failing, especially small scale businesses are failing in Nigeria due to people factor. And these problems, revolve around three major things. The first one is greediness. People's greediness, and greediness is a spiritual thing. It's very deep, and I want you to research greediness so that you can then have a proper understanding. Because of time, I'm just going to be very brief. I just give you the framework. Greediness is very deep. When you have greedy workers, when you have greedy people around you, they will choke your business. They will not allow your business to grow, because greedy people, they are rebellious. They want to have their own. They want to be their own boss. They usually seek after, power. They want to be in control. They want to be in a place of authority. So they want to use your business, as a stepping stone, to set up their own. So they don't make sacrifices, for your business. Do you understand? So what they do, they are focusing on using your business to set up their own. And people like that, you need to identify them. And when you identify them, lay them off. Get rid of them. Because if you keep them in your business, they will choke your business. Are you getting what I'm saying? They will choke your business. Then the second people that you have to be careful of are the cheating ones. This one is also spiritual, but not as deep as greediness. The cheating ones, you know what they do? They are in your business, but they divert your customers. They go to be doing home service. They are the type that tell your customer, oh, this thing that you want to do is expensive here, but can I come and do it in your house? They go to do home service for customer. I've seen instances where my staff will go and do home service for a customer and forget his or her tools there. Then the person will now call the salon, and talk to me that I should tell my staff to come and collect the tools that he or she left in his house. I've seen instances like that. I've seen staff, the moment I just enter my car and leave in the shop, they pack their stuff they are going to be doing. They want to go and do home service. Do you understand? For customers. They divert your customers. They will steal your product. They will steal your things, and go and be using it to attend to customers outside and pocket the money. When you identify people like that, deal with them. Punish them. If you cannot manage them, send them away. Then you have the selfish ones. These selfish staff, they put themselves, they are working with you, they are with you. They put themselves, before the brand. Anytime something comes up, they are the type that always consider, they want to know what is in it for them before they do a job. Do you understand? It's like it's about me, I and myself. Ideally, you're supposed to build the brand so that the brand will build you. You know, but they want to use the brand to build themselves. These people, they will not leave your establishment because they know they cannot afford, to set up their own. No, they are afraid to go and do home service because they don't want to be caught. But right there inside your business, they consider themselves first before anything. If a customer comes into your shop, these are the people that want to see, oh, how much is the job? How much is the commission? How much am I going to benefit from that job before they will not bring themselves out to do the job? Are you get what I'm saying? If it's something that involves, maybe a small amount of money, they will be shying away. They don't want to do it. Not knowing that as a brand, once a customer walks into your business, walks into your shop, you're supposed to attend to the customer, give the customer the very best, no matter the amount, of service the person wants to do. When you do that, you are representing the brand. But these selfish people, they put themselves before the brand. So if you observe, these are the set of people, that key small scale businesses, that keys whatever you are trying to do with your business. So always be sensitive, to identify people like this. Identify people like this. For the greedy ones, there is nothing that you will do, that will satisfy them. I've had cases where, I will rent, accommodation for staff just because I want them to be comfortable. So I want them to stay very close to the working environment. Guess what? Once they get their accommodation, they will disappear. I've had many cases like that. Do you understand? There are people that you will train, you will empower them. When is the time that you really need them, they will abandon you, they will run away. I've also seen cases where, you would train people, a customer will now come and be telling them, let me go and set you up, they will run, they will not even tell you. Do you know how many of my staff have left my shop, follow customers to go and set up salon, even around me? So they are not loyal. Greedy, cheating, and selfish workers, they are not loyal. They are not loyal to the brand. So if you want to succeed in business, identify these people. Once you identify them, try and skillfully take them out of your business. Then let's talk about the positive. There are the reasonable ones. The reasonable ones. These are the people that you can keep in your business. They are reasonable. They are committed. They make sacrifices, and they are willing, to work. Their focus is in making the brand work, because they believe that when the brand work, it will also pay them. So once you have this kind of people, usually this kind of people, they are like 20%, of your 100% staff. You have to take time to find out these people. Once you have these people, and you begin to grow them, begin to reward them, begin to encourage them, your business will grow. Now the question you want to ask me, when you are starting up a business, those 20%, they are hard to get. Now you can do like the fisherman. When you're starting the business, throw your net, let everybody come in. You understand? Let everybody come in. So when they come, what do? You start sorting out, the greedy ones, you throw them back to the river. The cheating one, throw them back to the river. The selfish one, throw them back to the river, until you are able to achieve that your 20% that are reasonable. These are the 20%, that you can work with. It might take time, Business is about patience, is about risk, is about consistency. If you do all these things, you will succeed.